I want to touch back on branding, but I also wanted to touch, you're a free agent. Um,
Yes,
are you serious? I saw you post on Instagram. You said something along the lines of comment why I should go to your team. Are you actually taking comments into consideration for your free agency decision?
absolutely. One of the biggest things for me is connecting with fan bases. So if the fan base is excited, that's a big thing. I want to be happy. I want to enjoy playing baseball, and one of the things I enjoy most is connecting with fans and the interaction there. The comments I get on the vlog, the requests I get at social media, seeing fans out of the stadium. That was one of the worst things about coronavirus is there was no fans to interact with in the stadium, no autographs to sign, no people to talk to. So yeah, and fans know their team, they know their city, they know like some of the cool stuff about it that like you don't hear in a pitch from a front office. It's like, hey, here's our coaches, here's our information, here's the contract size and the money and whatever. But, like, you don't know the pulse of the fan base. You don't know what makes a Yankee fan and what makes them different than a Mets fan. These fan bases have identities, and the players need to fit that identity of the fan base. Otherwise, there'll be a disconnect there. If a
Hmm.
fan base is super blue collar and hardworking, and you bring in someone that's flaunting, money and riches and whatever the case is, there's going to be a disconnect there. I want to connect with the fans, so I want to understand these things about the fan base in the city before I make a decision. It's not the only decision, but it's one of them.
So off of that, what fan base do you think you align with?
I see where you're going with that. I like that. That's a creative way to get to it. There's a lot of them, and the biggest thing is like baseball fans, so like St. Louis has tremendous baseball fans. Cincinnati has tremendous baseball fans. There's other cities that aren't baseball cities, like Boston fan base is so passionate about their sports. You look at like every time you play in Fenway, like it's packed, and the traditions surrounding just baseball there. I mean, the
Yeah.
Cubs, before they were, before this kind of current group of players, like back in 2014 or whatever, like they weren't that good, but there's 40,000 people there at noon on a Wednesday. The Cubs fan base is different than the White Sox fan base. The White Sox fans, like the stadium, they'll be good, and the stadium will be relatively empty. They'll draw 5,000 people. So it's like, what do you have to do as a player to identify with that fan base if they're not going to be out of the stadium versus the Cubs? Like, they're all out of the stadium. So yeah, those are some of the things that I look for. I think the Mets fans are making a huge push on social media. They're excited right now and excited for baseball. That's one of the biggest things that I look for. So Angels fans have been the same way. They're like all in my mentions with photoshops and stuff like that.
I
I've
love
noticed
that.
them quite a bit too. So those are the two so far that kind of stand out to me.